Hi, everyone. Today is December 9th, 2024. I would like to call to order this meeting of the DEIB Committee at 6:32 p.m. So the first item on the agenda is to review and act on the minutes of November 25th, 2024. We don't have the minutes in the folder this week, so we'll leave this item for next meeting. So we'll vote on the minutes then. In terms of new business, we don't have anything on the agenda, so I'm going to move on to the old business. And the first item is to act on our DEIB logo design from Taylor, so she sent that out. Did everybody have a chance to look at the logo that
Yes,
she did, that she made for us? Yep.
looks great.
All right, and so we would want to take a vote to accept this as our official logo. So I need a motion and a second.
Before we go,
Yes.
I had a question.
Sure.
Usually when we read something, we want it in a flow. Here it's written as diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging and committee.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it should go in a flow. So I was wondering, should we fix that, or do you guys think? Because and belonging is also together.
So like add a space.
Just a little bit spacing thing.
Okay.
Otherwise the design looks good, but I
Yeah.
just was wondering, like, you don't read half this way and then half this way. You keep going in a flow. So maybe we
I
can
just
start,
feel
like,
like-
we can rotate it a little bit so that it starts from this end, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging committee. So it finishes from here, it starts and it ends right here.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
It does.
So you're
Okay.
saying to make it go clockwise?
In a circle.
Clockwise.
Yeah. So
Clockwise
start
direction.
over here.
Yeah,
And
start
go
from the
that way.
left
Yeah, yeah,
side
I see that.
and like a rainbow, if you will.
Yeah, of course.
So that the flow is there, because, and there's no spacing between and belonging. I understand there is a little technicality there, but maybe we can make those tweaks a little bit. But
Okay.
otherwise, the design looks fabulous, and
Perfect.
we should go ahead for it.
Okay. So then we will ask Taylor to make those changes before.
We can pass it, and we can put those terms that will be tweaked in such a
Got
way.
it. Got it. Okay.
Because then she can get it printed and go forward with it.
All right.
So using it.
Okay. So we'll.
But I
vote.
wasn't sure how to explain it otherwise.
Okay. So we will vote to accept it, yes?
Yes.
And then with some changes.
Yes, minor.
I hope that's
Layout.
allowed, so.
Yeah. We hope so too.
So we'll find out. I just need a motion
A
to
motion,
accept and a second.
a motion to accept?
Second,
Okay, everybody in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. I think that all right, so we have a logo. Let's move along.
Yay.
Let's move on. Yay! We did it! The next item on the agenda is an update on the Multicultural Festival funding application. So Taylor did send me an email because she was unable to attend with us tonight, and I think she might have sent out the same
Mm-mm.
update to you guys, no? I think.
Where did that come?
She said she had not yet heard
Okay,
from the Cultural Council on how much the committee has been awarded. So as soon as she finds out, she'll let us know.
okay.
And that's all I have in terms of an update for that. So funding pending.
That's great. We did get.
Yes,
That's
right?
awesome, right?
That's awesome. In terms of the book club, I reached out to Priya at the library, and she said that's totally doable, that we can meet and talk about it. It just, because we had such little time between our last meeting and this meeting, I don't have we haven't like gotten together to talk yet for that. But I am trying to set up a time with her to discuss this. And then also, I think it would be nice to discuss it as a committee in terms of like, what are the parameters that we want to have for how do we select the books, right? Who has a say and stuff like that. And I thought that that would be a good topic to include in our workshop in January.
Agree.
Mhm.
So for that, Kathy McSweeney from the Housing Authority, she sent over some suggestions of the book, so we
Awesome.
already have some on the
Awesome.
list. So
Perfect.
thank you, Kathy, for that.
Yeah. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is an update on planning for a community forum on supporting conversations about school shootings or acts of violence.
So for that, Anushree, Adiola, and I met last week. And we already discussed that we are going to do the forum on April, was it April 9?
I believe so, yes.
April 9 is on a Thursday. Ariola will reach out to Priya from the library, and she will coordinate the date. I will send the panelists an email requesting their presence, and I think our next meeting will be in January to discuss the questions that we're going to be asked and who is going to be the moderator for the forum as well.
Okay, and the topic is supporting conversations about school shootings and acts of violence?
Yes.
Okay,
We still don't have a title for the forum. That's
Got it.
TBD, but
got it.
that's mostly what it is.
Okay, cool. So the next item then would be to discuss the agenda for our workshop on January 13th. That we said would be a hybrid event. A couple of items that we discussed at the last meeting include like the planning a forum on immigration status focused event, discussing possibly a screening of Counted Out. We can include the book club and the forum. And then was there anything else that you wanted to include in the agenda for the workshop?
Objectives as a committee.
Okay,
I also want to add in our yearly calendar.
List of activities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, planned activities, okay. And for this, we'll have the new member too. So hopefully we'll have a full panel.
hopefully, yes.
I know we never had a snow date, but do we have like a snowed out date or do we plan after that? Weather-wise, I was thinking.
If January 13th there's a snow, I think I don't think we've had that situation yet. But
Yeah.
I would assume that like we would just maybe
Replan, okay.
meet on a different week or, like when it falls on a holiday, right? And we
We
just
do
pick-
that, right, yeah.
Pick a different day.
Okay.
All right. And so actually, those are all the items on my agenda, unless you guys have anything new to add.
In terms of new, I just want to mention that there was this event planned by a group. I forget the name. I had sent Taylor the flyer. Central Mass. I shared with you guys too. Let me just get the right name out before I spell it out. So it was a very well-planned event, and they are more focused on diversity in terms of religion, I think. It's called Central Mass Connections and Faith, and it was in partnership with the Boroughs Islamic Society, and they had an afternoon of learning and conversation, and the topics were good, and we can discuss it in our subcommittee or as a group to decide what we want to do, even for our workshop planning. But some of the topics were good to create a discussion. And we had almost like a full house, and it was, I was told that they plan 2 of those per year, and this started 8 years ago. And I met a few people from Shrewsbury who were interested in joining our committee, some of them wanted to know if it is on Zoom. So I had invited them, and I also invited them to watch us
Mm-hmm.
online and even join the group at the library. So there's a lot of interest, and people have a lot of ideas, but they need to be present to talk to us. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that having the community events where, like, it's not like a public meeting, I think that allows people opportunities to
share.
and to
Mm.
like talk. And so I think it's nice to have like the forum and whatever else, whatever other community events that we have, because then we can get those people
Correct.
involved. Do you want to add like a faith-based event to our workshop agenda to talk about?
I just wanted to mention that diversity comes in different forms.
Mhm.
This is one of them. Like, for example, even immigration, it's an issue, but it's not a faith, but it is, it's an issue.
Right.
Not the same with religion could be an issue. And one of the things a lot of people learned from each other was there are so many misconceptions about religions, or what the faith is saying and how it's portrayed on media. So I felt personally it was very informative. And I think there's a program at the library I saw, they call it, I think, Islam 101. It's
Mhm.
happening maybe this week or next week. But those are the kinds of things, like
Yeah.
basically even faith, or anything, even diversity. For
Mhm.
example, people think that if you're from a certain ethnic background or a certain color, that you're not diverse. You are diverse because you're a certain different color than
Mhm.
other people. So
Mhm.
everybody's diverse.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to say is that everybody is inclusive. We are including everybody. We are not excluding you because
Right.
you're a certain color or certain religion or whatever else your diversity is. So please continue to come and contact us and attend our workshop and give us some suggestions what you would like us to do, whoever is listening to us online also. So I think that's the point I wanted to make. But if you think that we want to include religion, we can always discuss
Yeah,
it.
I think it would be a good, it's a good event to,
Mhm. Okay.
maybe help put together. For,
Okay.
Yeah. So I added it so we could talk about it for our workshop. And anything else you guys want to?
No.
We had one more thing. I was driving by the church and the commons,
Mm-hmm.
and the lights look so beautiful.
Yes.
And that reminded me, last year we were discussing of what about other religious holidays, people had asked.
Mm-hmm.
What about my religion? Why don't we have lights? And then I think somewhere we had put it on the agenda, we were discussing it, and then it simmered down. So when
Yeah.
I saw those lights, it reminded me that we had that topic on our agenda before.
Yes.
And somebody had brought it up, that why can't we have lights for other religious festivals, for example, or holidays?
Yeah.
So we should make it a point to reach out to people who can give us some more answers for that,
Yeah.
where the
So
funding is coming from.
I'm gonna look back at our minutes because I know we had a conversation exactly about this. And
Yes.
like what was the thing. So, so I'll look back through our minutes. And it's funny because I was driving by there today on my way here and I thought the exact same thing. It was like, oh, I remember because I don't think it's branded in one way or
No.
another. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just the holidays.
Right, and it's
Right.
funny because like this year Hanukkah starts on Christmas Day, and then it's all in the same I think the same time period, and it doesn't always line up. But,
Yeah.
but it's just interesting to like think about all the celebrations that are happening
Correct.
right
Mhm.
now. Yes.
And it just beautifies everything, The
Mhm.
leaves are gone and everything is more crisp and beautiful with the lights, and the neighborhoods are beautiful. So I think, that's something like an appreciation, want to celebrate
Mhm.
life, and that's what it is about. So
Right.
yeah, we should pay attention to that.
Absolutely.
I think that's enough for the agendas.
Yes. Okay. Do you guys have anything you want to add? I know we kind of just went like rapid fire.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want
Mhm.
to circle back to the book
Yeah.
club thing because I'm really interested in that. Do we have a timeline for when we should want to start that or spread the word around?
For the book club?
Mm-hmm.
So we're still kind of forming the idea, right? I had reached out to Priya to see if we could work with the library to put it together so that it's like a a regular event that we have, you know, that meets like once a month or whatever at the library at this time. And then we can decide, so we need to have some rules, right? Or not some rules, but some parameters for how we're gonna run it. So who decides the book, you know, do we vote on the book? Who can suggest the book?
Okay, I see.
Just how is it going to run?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was part of our planning for the workshop in January to kind of come up with some of those
Okay.
details to decide how we want to do that. Because ideally, like, this should kind of like hopefully take a life of its own, right? And
Mhm.
kind of like be a forum for people to discuss different topics. You know.
So on that note, I just thought I'll just revisit this. I know some of Anushri is on that committee. It's called the Multicultural Advisory Committee. It's for the
Yeah.
library.
Yes.
And we got an update that basically what is the idea that we want to do. So she's suggesting planning and I think a cooking demonstration
Yes, yes.
with the Acra Eatery.
Mm-hmm.
And she also is thinking that we should plan an Indian art workshop. So whenever we have the next meeting, that's when we'll decide. But these are all things we can collaborate with the library because this comes under the same umbrella. And we are still the same people of the town. So,
Yeah, right.
Oh, you can support each other, yeah.
so yeah, I just thought it's nice to know what's going on the other end too, because we are in so many different committees now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, if we need help with our book club, we can reach out to the other committee we're in.
Yeah, of course.
Because obviously they work with the library, so why wouldn't we? So,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Ask them for advice.
I think also part of coordinating the book club is like, if we choose a book, then how many books, how many copies of that book like are available?
So
and
what
stuff
they
like
do
that?
is usually what one book club that I had joined is they have a small amount, I would say, maybe 15, 20. They keep that available for you. You go check it out because you're in that book club. You read the book and you return it. But if we are doing it and depending on the interest, we can have a sign-up sheet and we can see how many people are interested and they can interloan from the other libraries too.
Yeah.
So
I was going to suggest that because I know a lot of libraries would do the same thing. They'll just loan it to you and then return it.
yes.
Yeah.
And again, we are not keeping it on the basis of only reading it.
Yeah.
We'll keep a summary too.
Right.
There are people who may not be able to read small text, big text, audiobooks. So we'll have all the options. That's what I'm hoping. But once again, everything is available in so many different forms nowadays. So
Right.
book
Is it
club means
possible to give them like an excerpt of a book? Because I know a lot of sellers, like when they sell books, they give like a small excerpt of the text.
yes.
So maybe if you like just give them excerpt of like the most critical points. I don't know if it's legal. Like if you can just take a
Yeah,
picture.
I don't
but-
know like how.
I don't know how it's gonna
what
work,
the-
but
what we
right,
had-
and that's why I think we have to. I want
because it's also
No, we
like,
had a
public
different
things.
format. Was in a book club. The book was too thick for me to read because I was already studying too.
Oh right.
So when I attended, there was a synopsis given at that meeting by the organizer so that you don't feel left out and then we can all discuss. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Do you have something that stands out to you? How would you deal with it in your, if you will, your faith or your daily life with it if you had this kind of a stress?
Mm-hmm.
So things that pertain to you, not pertain to so much as the author. The author's is just one viewpoint. So I like that way of inclusivity, because I wanted to participate, but I didn't have the time to read through the entire encyclopedia, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
Relatable.
and sometimes people don't show up. There might be 20 people signed up, and you're the only one who shows up who's not read the book.
Right?
Then what do you do? so somebody has to educate you, before we start talking.
Yeah.
So that has happened with me. So I'm just saying, from my point of view, that include everybody. It's not too much.
Right.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Thank you for answering my question.
Anytime. So anything else that we want to address?
No, the agenda's all done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we get the link for the monthly newsletter for the senior center? I'm not sure.
It's on their website. You can go and click it, I think.
No, but Cynthia was going to assign us.
Oh, I did assign you. I just
Oh,
didn't
that
send
one.
it out. Yes.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
didn't send it out, but you're right, because it's just everything.
I just want to make sure I
Yes.
didn't even lose the email.
No, you didn't lose it. No, 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 no.
So can you just read it out so that, whoever is watching
Sure.
or whoever reads it?
For the senior center submissions, who's in January? It's me.
Okay, so you have till tomorrow?
No, this was.
I thought it was anniversaries.
Oh, yeah, the senior center thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned the last meeting. I was watching the video. Yeah, I can do it. I just don't know how to do it. So
I'll
if you can
show you.
teach me, that's
I'll show
fine.
you. Yeah.
So everything
I
is
li-
already
at least
written,
have it till
actually.
tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we're
It's not due
good.
till tomorrow?
The 14th.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, what?
No worries.
Okay.
All right.
I'm very much worried.
So December is
It's very easy to
anniversary
do.
for January, right?
Or I can switch with her. It's
Okay.
not a big deal.
Oh, okay.
All right, but if there are no other things you guys want to discuss tonight,
Next month's meeting agenda is set?
next month's meeting agenda is our, oh, hold on. Is our, okay. Let me put in there. I thought I was just gonna copy the same thing that we talked about today, essentially, because it's the update on the
Yes.
multicultural festival. And then we have our, like, basic workshop planning.
Correct.
Right, which is all the events. that we
Welcoming the
talked
new member.
about. Hopefully,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. And the book club, multifills.
So for our next meeting, we should all individually bring ideas and thoughts so we can collaborate on the workshop as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, if we are ready to adjourn, I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:54 p.m.
Awesome.